This is Mahesh Ravi, and in this video, we're going to look at something special. We are going to try out to create a film poster by using multiple mediums. So we are going to start creating a character. We are going to rig the character. We are going to take it to Cinema 4D, give it some animation. We are going to render out a sequence, take it to Photoshop, add some backgrounds, and we are going to use a little bit of AI art at the end to jazz the design up. So let's get started. And to do this, we are going to use, so as I told you, we will start with a character. Making a character, we need a 3D character. So to do this, the easiest way is to download a character, which is already made. But we are not going to do that. We are going to download an app which will let us make a character by ourselves. So we're going to go to Make Human, and we're going to download an app called Make Human from this site, which will let you customize and create your own 3D characters. It's a very, very easy tool to use. So I'm going to go here, I'll go to Downloads, and we can go to the Mac version of this. So we have installed Make Human app, and now all you need to do is to open this up, and it's very, very simple. There is absolutely no learning curve in using Make Human. So this is the interface of Make Human. It's very, very simple, and you can see a couple of tabs which are open here. So it's very self-explanatory. What you need to do is to play around with this sliders to control and customize your basic model that you have. So you can use your mouse to move around and see how the character looks like, the basic anatomy of the character right now. You can zoom in with your mouse wheel. And if you want to change the gender, you can just use the slider here. So I'm going to keep it somewhere here. I'll just change the age also a little bit. I'll add some muscle mass to the character. So just the weight of the character a bit and the height. So you can also change the ethnicity of the character by moving this slide. So if I want the character to be more African, I can do that. If I want them to be more Asian, I can do this, and I can also make them look more Caucasian. So we have the character, almost the base is ready. We can go into the advanced controllers here and control the gender, but I don't think that is required for us right now. We'll go to the geometries here, and we can give them a basic attire. So double click on it, and the attire is going to show up right there in the model. If you scroll down, we can see equip them with accessories, and we have the character ready to go. We have eyes, we can control the eyes. We have a hair, so I think we will choose maybe, yeah, this is going to work. So I have selected the hair as well. We can go inside this, we can add teeth. If we are going to make the character open their mouth at some point, we need to make sure that there is teeth inside it. So you can go in and we can do all these details, but I don't think we actually need this for this project. So we can go straight to the material. We can add a shade to the character, whatever you want. You can just double click on it and the shade of the character will change. The next important part is the pose animate feature. So this is where you will get a character rig preset. So you can add a preset which is already here. You can click on a rig preset and add a bone hierarchy for you. So if you want to use that, you can export the character right now and it will be rigged already. So I don't want a rig. I don't want my character to be rigged from this tool. I'll use another tool for this. So right now I just need the character. So I'm going to go to pose of the character. And there are some inbuilt poses which are available, but I'm going to use something called the T pose because I'll be exporting this and I'll be rigging it using another tool, and T pose is the ideal pose for doing any sort of rigging in a character. I can also go into the expressions, change the expression of the character. I don't think that's very important here. And once you have done all of this, you can now export your character. So if you click on the export button, I'm going to choose the FBX file extension because that's the most popular file format right now. And I'm going to give it a name and I'll click export. So you can see the progress right here and the character will be exported to your computer. We have the character and the textures right here. So I'm going to take the character FBX file and the textures and put it into one folder so it's easy to manage. Now we are going to get into the next tool. We are going to use a tool called Adobe Mixamo to rig our character. You go to Mixamo, log in with your Adobe ID. So I'm inside the Mixamo tool right now. It's an auto rigging tool, and there are a lot of animation presets also that you can add to your character. So what we need to do first is to upload our character. So I'm going to click on upload character. I'm going to select the character file, and we'll go to our folder, choose the FBX file that we have, upload it into Mixamo. So it's going to take a while to process our character, and it'll show the rigging process right away. So the character is processing right now. We have a character. You cannot see any textures in here, which is absolutely fine. We are going to download it back again. So you're going to click next, and this is the interesting part. This is where you actually tell the computer that these are the body parts of the character, right? So there is an interactive screen right here where you can drag this and drop it into the places. So this is saying chin, so I'm going to place it in the chin of the character. We have a wrist, so I'm going to take it to the wrist here. We have elbows, we will keep it here. We have knees, comes in right here, and we have the groin, which comes in right here. So we have marked all the parts. This is all the information that the computer needs to rig our character. So we're going to go click on next. I'll start auto rigging. You can see that it's rigging right now. It is building a bone system and a hierarchy for your character. So let's wait and we'll see what happens. So we're done. The rigging is done and it looks pretty good, right? So we can go next and it will load our character into the workspace. We can see our character right here. Now the good thing that we can do here is that we have a lot of we can see a lot of animation presets right here, and you can select any of these animations and that will be applied directly to our character. So if I want let's say we will landing, we'll search for a landing animation. So we can see a character is landing like this. There are so many landing animations which are right here. I think this works. So I'm going to click on this and that animation is going to load into our file. This looks good right now. We can also see the skeleton or the bone hierarchy that Mixamo has created, and it looks perfect. So what we are going to do is we are going to download this back again as an FBX file. Click download. The FBX is going to be downloaded into your system, and we are going to use that file to further with our process. So we have the FBX file. I'm going to take it and put it into the same folder that we created earlier. What we'll do is now we have the 3D file. We are going to open that 3D file in a 3D application. So we're going to here, we are going to use Cinema 4D to light up the scene, maybe to work on the textures and things like that. So we have Cinema 4D right now, and I'm going to open the file that we just got from Mixamo. So we have the FBX file falling to landing, open that, and it's going to come right here. We have the file, and if you click play, it's going to play the animation right here. So it looks pretty good so far. So what we are going to do is we are going to make it look even better. So this is an interesting post, so it actually looks good. I'm going to create a camera right here. So this is the shot that I want to take out, right? So I'm going to save a camera right here. And what we will do right now is to add some details into it. So I'm going to add a floor. So we have a floor here. And what we'll do is we'll add some lighting. So I'm going to use a physical sky right here. So we have a physical sky and the light is sort of coming from here, which is fine. We can go to the time and location and we can change it if you need it. So I'm going to make it somewhat like this. And I will also go to the render settings. I will add ambient occlusion and a global illumination here just to make our render look good. Now when I'm rendering this out, I don't need this background, the floor detail. I want a transparent PNG in my file. So what I'm going to do is, let's take a quick render and see how the scene is looking right now. So I'm going to click the render view and we can see, okay, we have a render like this. Right, so now we can render, but before rendering, I don't need this floor texture to be there. So I'm going to go create a new material. So we'll click on create, go to materials, and we'll create a new shadow catcher material because I just need the shadow. I don't need the color data in here. So I'm going to add that into the floor. So we have this data right now. I'm going to go to our render settings. I will go to the output here and I'll change the render size. So I'll change this to 1280, so we'll get a file like this. And we want to save it in our desktop, so we'll go to our desktop and let's call it untitled. I want it to be a PNG file, and I want the alpha channel also in it, so that will give me the transparency I want. So I will have all of this set. We are going to click on rendering the image. You can see that the image is rendered, so we can now come out of Cinema 4D. Our job is done here. Now the last step, not exactly the last step, but we are going to go to Photoshop right now. But before that, we need to find a background where we could compose the renders together. So I'm going to go to unsplash.com. I'm going to find an image. So I'm going to just search for countryside, and I need a portrait image of a countryside. Okay. I'm going to use this for the time being. I think that works. So I'm going to click on download free. And we have the image. Let's open Photoshop. So we are in Photoshop. I'm going to create a new file, and I'll go to the web settings. I will enter my number here. I will go with 1080 and maybe a 1400. This is my size, and I'll create a poster. Now, what I'm going to do is I will go to File and Place Embedded, and I'll choose the image that we just downloaded right now. We have the image right here. I'm just going to scale it up so that it fits the document right now. So we have the background here. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to place our render. So I'm going to go here, Place Embedded once again. I'm going to choose the untitled PNG, and I'm going to drop it right here. So we can see that the characters are dropping in right now here. We can place it where we want it, like this. So I'm going to just keep it somewhere here. So maybe scale it down a bit. So as you can see, we are getting only the character and the shadow. We are not getting the ground because we applied a shadow catcher material right there. So we have this right now. It's okay, sitting there. So we applied some basic color correction here. We're not done yet, right? We are going to use, now for the last part of this, we are going to use a little bit of AI art to jazz up the whole scene, right? So I'm going to go and use a tool called Midjourney. So I have my Discord open here. I'm going to use Midjourney right here. I'm going to write my prompt. So I've already done this. That's the reason you're able to see that right on top, but I'll do it once again. So we have the imagine prompt right here, and I'm going to enter data. So So based on the prompt that we have given, Midjourney is starting to work and generate a set of images that will match with our query. Let's see what Midjourney is giving you. You can see the percentage of processing right here. So it's all done. The processing is done. It actually gave us 4 versions to work with. I really like this, the 4th version here. So you can upscale version 4. So just click on U4, and it's going to upscale the 4th image in this collage. All right, so we have a pretty interesting image right here. So if you want a higher quality image, you can click on upscale to max, but I think we are okay with this. We will open this in web, and we can download the image right here. So when you go to save, so it's a really interesting scene that we have right now. And so we're going to keep this somewhere here. So we will sort of reduce the opacity of the scene. Okay, so we have something like this, and we have the background, and we'll just turn off this for a second. And we have this image, and we have the character sort of coming here. So what I'm going to do is I will slowly try to blend this with this background. So we will first rasterize this AI layer. I'm going to take the eraser tool and then slowly sort of blend these 2 layers here. Right, so we have something like that. Now, to make it a little more interesting, what I'm going to do is I will take this image right here, and I will create a copy of this, but I don't need the whole part because I'm planning to create a reflection of this, a very mild reflection on this, on the water, the pool of water. So just roughly take a garbage selection here,